Is Marathon actually selling well? It's been a little over a week since the game has been out, and we finally have some numbers. Are things looking a bit more positive, or is this just another Concord? Marathon has likely sold close to 2 million copies in the first week. The game has sold nearly 1 million copies on Steam alone. Since Steam is the primary platform, we can assume that roughly 45 to 55% of sales come from Steam. Then that means consoles will take the rest of the sales, and we are looking at 2 million copies. That is $80 million in revenue before accounting for platform cuts, but also before accounting for more revenue streams from the deluxe edition, season pass purchase, and store cosmetics. This isn't a blockbuster hit, but it doesn't mean doom and gloom. If reviews and word of mouth is good, we could potentially see Marathon selling 3 to 4 million within the first month, and maybe significantly more as the years progress. They may not become instantly profitable, but if retention holds and there are enough new players coming over time, there might be enough here to cover the yearly live ops costs for seasonal updates. Now, selling 2 million copies is actually pretty good, and making $90 million in revenue is also nothing to scoff at. These are all fantastic numbers, except when you actually start to break down the numbers and do the math correctly, you will find out that 2 million copies is nowhere near enough for them to even start recuperating any of the loss. Because as they have said, they've grossed around $90 million, which is fantastic for Bungie. All of this sounds fantastic, except for when you think about how much Marathon actually ended up costing Sony and Bungie to produce. Neither Bungie nor Sony has officially confirmed the development costs of Marathon. However, current industry reports and financial analysts estimate the total development and marketing budget to be between $250 million and $430 million. So even estimating on the high end of making $100 million, they've only actually made 25% back of the money that they've spent. If you don't get into the nitty-gritty of things, the game seems like it's performing quite well. If you look at the Steam chart DB, the all-time peak was about 88,000 players. There are currently 54,000 players currently playing, which is about 50% of the player base. If you compare it to games like High Guard that lost about 90% of its player base, that isn't so bad. Not only does it have mostly positive reviews, it's also currently ranked number 9 on Steam's top sellers. So by looking at the numbers just like that, it doesn't really seem like Concord is in a bad place and might actually rebound and eventually might come up with additional seasonal content. Except when you look at what's going on behind the doors with Sony. Marathon didn't become Concord 3.0. But Sony's game has sales problems. Sony's new project had a decent start on Steam, but some signs indicate that the overall release may not be the most successful for the publisher. More than a week has passed since the release of the extraction shooter, but Bungie and Sony still hasn't shared sales data. This may mean that Marathon has not yet surpassed the 1 million copies sold mark on consoles and PC. Another decision by Sony also points to possible problems. The company has canceled panels on development of Bungie and Marathon at GCD 2026. The reason for the cancellation was not given. The presentations were scheduled for March 13th, 2026. This video is being filmed on March 14th, 2026. So generally speaking, if your game is doing very well and sales are doing great and you have a growing player base, you're not going to cancel an event where you're going to be talking about the game. You're actually going to be putting more promotion into it. You're going to be pushing it more so that more people are talking about it, so you can generate more hype. The fact that they're canceling this, it's not usually a great sign.
You don't find that suspicious?
Forbes journalist Paul Tassi stated in a new video that most of Marathon sales came from Steam. He refers to sources including those at Sony. According to him, the shooter is selling noticeably worse on console, which could be a problem for Sony. Marathon is still in the top 10 Steam sales and is currently 10th place. The game has received a very good rating from the users. According to Gamealytics, about 977,000 copies have been sold on Steam. The project has strong player base, but is that enough with a weak console sales? So there you have it. You have Gamealytics that are posting content explaining that Concord, I'm so sorry, that Marathon is doing these excellent numbers, but according to insiders at Sony, It seems like it's actually not doing better on console, it's performing exceptionally worse on console. And since they're just under 1 million copies on Steam, they're probably nowhere near 1 million copies on console. In all honesty, I don't think Marathon is a Concord 3, and I don't think it's going to instantly die in the next couple of weeks. If the game does go away, and it most likely will, it's most likely going to be because it doesn't hit Sony's sales target or amount of players on console. That's probably going to be the reason why the game doesn't last another 10 years like Destiny 2, for example. But I will say this, the game is doing surprisingly better than I thought it would, and at the end of the day, I would rather the game be good and people be happy than the game be bad and we're just all angry and then we have to wait another 5 years so that another dumbass CEO can try to sell us another live service. That's gonna be it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Are you playing Marathon? I am not gonna be playing at all because it's not my kind of game. Let me know what you think in that comment section. While you're down there, don't forget to like, share, favorite, and subscribe because it puts a smile on my face. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.